I'm going to be blunt. This is pure crap. Okay. Now let's go back in time. Remember Eric Bieniemy, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator who was a part of multiple Super Bowls. And when he didn't get a head coaching job, he went to the Washington Commanders, went to a few other teams, had built up a resume, and then, lastly, he was with the UCLA Bruins for 1 year as offensive coordinator. Well, here's the thing. He was let go, and now right-wing media is seizing on the opportunity, as they always do, to go after none other than Mina Kimes. Now, you're probably going through your head why they are doing this, and I will solidify all of that by saying you're probably right, depending on if we align on this. But here's the thing. She gives well-founded takes, which have data backing up her points, not just when it comes to the societal issues at large within the NFL, but also the X's and O's. So let's revisit the clip that is being recirculated by right-wing people in order to dog walk, per se, Mina Kimes.
It's a massive problem and doesn't appear to be getting any better. I mean, we've been doing NFL Live together for a few years now, and every offseason we seem to be having the same conversation. Every offseason there are new stories like this, or there's new studies substantiating the fact that this is a systemic issue in the NFL. Most recently, I would point people to a terrific series that the Washington Post did, where they looked at 3 decades of hiring data. And in that data, they found that black head coaches were more likely to spend time as mid-level assistants 9 years longer than their white counterparts before being given opportunities. They were less likely to be given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to hiring and inexperience. There's never been a black head coach hired without NFL experience. Numerous examples of white head coaches. They're more likely to become interim coaches, but then less likely to be given opportunities from there. I mean, I could go on and on.
That was tweeted by a troll named ML Football. And he has given terrible take after terrible take. It is practically his MO. But this would be reasonable, right? What Kimes said. If you are going through a study that went over decades of data and they conclude this, why would this have to be an argument? Well, I'll show you. ML Football would tweet, trending. It's not trending. He's framing it as it being trending. When ESPN and Mina Kimes strongly inferred Eric Bieniemy was not hired as an NFL head coach due to his race, when it comes to the NFL's diversity problem, Eric Bieniemy is just the tip of the iceberg, close quote. And then in all caps, because they're doing a victory lap today. Today, Eric was fired as a college OC, showing yourself, proving who you are to society at large. Then there's Barstool's Jack Mack, seen here. When he's not tweeting out stupid stuff like this, or getting dunked on by a former Maxwell Award winner, Heisman Trophy winner, USC quarterback, Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, well, he inserts himself into the conversation as well. 3 years ago, Mina Kimes and hundreds of other media members said it was racist that this guy didn't get a job as an NFL head coach. He would tweet, why mention Mina Kimes and not mention him?
Eric Bieniemy has interviewed 15 times with 14 different teams, the Jets twice, over the last few years for a head coaching spot. Now, all 32 positions have been filled. There are 4 black head coaches in the National Football League and 2, Robert Saleh with the Jets and Ron Rivera in Washington, who are minority coaches. 4 black head coaches. In 2018, the season began with 7. So instead of continued progress, it seems like there's a lurch forward and then a fall back in this ongoing effort to reach some kind of fairness. It doesn't have to be exact equity. It doesn't have to match up to the number of black players within the league. But clearly something is wrong here.
Of course, said nothing. Radio silence on Bob Costas. How about him?
The GMs and the owners don't want to hire him. It's really that simple, Skip, because they keep moving the goalposts. Well, we need somebody with NFL experience. And then you go hire a head coach from college. Well, we need somebody to call plays. Skip, I want you to tell me who called plays. Zach Taylor, did he call plays? Matt LaFleur, did he call plays?
No.
What about Joe Judge? No. Kevin Stefanski, Nick Sirianni, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Nathaniel Hackett.
I think Nathaniel did call him for Jacksonville.
Go
ahead. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
take him off. He did. Not in Green Bay. Not in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Matt, okay, here's the offensive coordinators under Andy Reid that did not call plays that got jobs. Matt Nagy,
That's a good one.
Doug Peterson,
That's a better one.
Brad Childress. All of them got head coaching job without calling plays. Eric Bieniemy under Andy Reid for damn near a decade. Well, he doesn't call plays. There are a lot of guys. Skip, Joe Judge never called a play.
He's a special teams coach.
Got a job.
That's right. Nothing about Shannon Sharp as well. You didn't name drop either of them. Oh, also, Nick Wright would fire off a tweet. You could say he is arguably the face of Fox Sports 1 at this time. The worst people on the internet are singling out and attacking Mina Kimes. I wonder why. As the one person who was calling out the league for Eric Bieniemy not getting a head coach shot years ago, as if many of us weren't saying the same things. So here's my clip from the same time frame, and for what it's worth, I stand by all of this to this day, and the only addition I would make is the one white OC I listed who didn't get a head coaching job, Brian Callahan, has since gotten one. So even Nick Wright is seeing the ML footballs and the Jack Max and calling bull on what they're tweeting. Former NFL MVP LaDainian Tomlinson, he also was not mentioned. Quote, I really think there's a disconnect between the owners and the kind of culture that is black folks. Not understanding the way black folks communicate, the mannerisms, the expressions. It's different than someone who looks like them. We hear owners say all the time, oh, I connected with this white candidate because they reminded me of myself. If we can't get past that mindset with coaches who don't look like you or talk like you or come from the same background, they'll never get a chance. What do you know? What do you know? During the time that Eric Bieniemy was struggling to get a head coaching job, LaDainian Tomlinson put out this tweet. And that was mentioned in the very same study that the Jack Max and the ML footballs decide to just totally gloss over and not pay any mind to. You know why? Because they cling themselves to the anti-DEI, anti-woke train over and over and over again. You don't believe me? Check out their timelines. Also at that time, Leslie Frazier, when he was a defensive coordinator in Buffalo with the Bills, he led their team to being first or second in defensive points allowed in 3 of the last 4 seasons he was there. You know what happened? He did not get a second chance at being a head coach. He was a head coach with the Minnesota Vikings, and that was some 10 years ago at this point. Is he deserving of a second chance? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is he getting it? No, he is not. From Shalise Manza-Young of Yahoo Sports, from her piece last year, breathing the same air as Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay has led to 5 of his assistants, all white, getting head coaching jobs. But defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, whose unit allowed fewer than 20 points per game in the 2021 postseason, has gotten interviews and nothing more. The Athletic's Mike Jones, in the same time frame, would put in his piece for The Athletic, jobs have always and seemingly will remain hard to come by for anyone who is not white. Since 2019, 27 head coaching jobs have come available. Only 7 of those jobs have gone to men of color: Rivera, Cully, Sala, McDaniel, Smith, Bowles, and Ryans. Here we are in 2023, and in a league whose player membership is 75% black, 32 coaching jobs belong to only 4 men who are black or biracial. Fast forward to present day, because that's where we are right now. Entering this season, there were no black offensive coordinators in the NFL for the first time since 1988, writes USA Today's Mike Freeman. So it was the first time in 36 years this had happened. Scratch that, by the way, 1. And this hits quite literally close to home, because Thomas Brown was elevated to offensive coordinator after the Chicago Bears in back-to-back seasons. They fired Luke Getsy, hired Shane Waldron, fired Shane Waldron, elevated Brown to being offensive coordinator. And then, of course, what happened after that? The Chicago Bears, after that abysmal ending to the Thanksgiving Day loss in Detroit, where Matt Eberflus doesn't know the beauty of having a timeout in his pocket, Matt Eberflus was fired, and once again, he was elevated now to head coach. This is practically a trial, a case to be made for him to be the head coach after this year. So, Mike Freeman would continue. Primarily, though, not exclusively, head coaches are hiring their buddies, the people they feel comfortable with, as LT stated. Often, when this happens, black coaches lose out. because they aren't part of the old boy network. There is a lack of comfort with them. So yeah, Eric Bieniemy was at UCLA, a program that has not been awesome. And now we are seeing his agent do what agents do. His agent would say, the split after only one season was previously planned after all of that happened. And the plan is to return to the NFL in 2025. And look, he may get it. Okay. He may be fielding offers to be an offensive coordinator once again. Or maybe it's as Bomani Jones said, he's just a bad interview. And maybe he comes with bad baggage as well, as we have gone over previously from his time at the University of Colorado. Those are serious issues. No doubt about it. Have other coaches had serious issues? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. But what I think this also speaks to is there is a endemic within the NFL. There is the core root problem, as Mike Freeman wrote about, as LaDainian Tomlinson talked about, that they fail to address time and time again. We have the numbers, we have the trends, we have the data. And yet it seems like there are only incremental improvements when we cry foul because we diagnose the problem with numbers and facts and accuracy. And we are still waiting for that day where there is consistency. In a league that is comprised, as we have heard, 75% black. And yet the coordinators, those under coordinators, team personnel overall, the numbers are slowly improving. And I think it is a reaction from the league. I truly do. Because we are saying, we know the problem. Do you?